Whew, yeah, today's a hot one. And today's I'm probably going to be on my soapbox. So let me put this stuff out front and give everybody a perspective of what we're going to be talking about, because that title today is just like the tip of the iceberg. I'm like, I've never thought something like this would happen, especially to me. So I said, okay, let's see where this goes. But before we do all that exciting fun stuff and talk about other fun stuff, because this is going to be one of those moments of what? Let's talk about a Kickstarter. So the Kickstarter started by accident over the weekend. It was not planned. Hey, Preston. It was not planned that way. It was definitely not planned that way. This is what happens when you're not paying attention and you push something and it's like, oh, crap. And I pushed it live. So our Kickstarter actually started a week earlier than I planned to, and which we talked about, which is upsetting, because we're going to be doing a big digital release party still this Friday. Still going to do 11:45. Still going to act like nothing's happening. And we're just going to keep going like that. We're just going to keep running like that. And it's doing pretty well. We've got $1,200 already. We're still, $1,800 short from our initial goal, which I will think we easily will get. I just want to get people more excited about it, but some people have been kind of good, kind of bad. And I've got some weird questions. Nothing like weird, but this goes into the topic of today. So I want to talk a little bit more about the Kickstarter. So if you don't know, we're doing this Kickstarter initially as a Pathfinder Kickstarter. We've already done the first two adventures. This is based on our whole series that we did with the original Chronicles of the Gatekeepers. We did an Alpha adventure and a Omega adventure, and the adventure in the middle you could move in any direction and play in any way. That's what made it kind of cool. So we've got that whole setup with this one also. We've already done the Alpha and the Omega adventure already. Done. Hey, David. Hey, Tracy. We've done all that stuff. Good Lord. Michael McCarthy, who just bought a house, say congratulations to him. He finished up the first one, Alpha, a way back, because I've already done the layout on it. That's how far advanced we are. The Omega was pretty much done before he bought the house, and he had to send it out. Hey, Stefan. So it was all set up. We had it all put together. Hey, Eric. We had it all put together, and it was ready to go. Dun, dun, dun. But he's about the house and he's got to put it delayed. So I'm like, okay. So we still got to work that out, but realistically, it's done. Like I said, we got still 31 more days for the Kickstarter, but it's done. So that's a good thing. He then has to work on the possible 6 side treks we're doing, maybe more, depending on how much we do. And from there, we're going to probably continue. So it's going to be a lot of fun. I'm kind of happy that we're in the right spot, even though, like I said, we came out a week earlier than I planned, which is so weird. It's so weird. But it happens. But like I said, we're moving on from that. Okay. So the title of today's lovely transparency agenda, something happened to me yesterday that I thought was kind of weird. And I really wanted to talk about it because I've noticed this happening a lot in the industry, because anybody who knows me knows I have a lot of friends who are on both sides of the aisle. I very much am, I should say, definitely a left-leaning person, definitely Democrat. Some people would even consider in some places, like my father would tell you, I'm Republican, but I'm conservative on certain things. On money, very, very conservative. Stop spending money on dumb things. On social issues, very, very, very liberal. Do as you do, live as you live. I'm good with that. Hello, Miss Schaffner. So that's kind of like how I live my life. So yesterday, because of our Kickstarter, we have done iconics for our campaign setting, Neo Exodus. There's roughly 28 different types of characters you can play in Neo Exodus. And let me tell you, we've done our best to break a lot of stereotypes on what you'd find on stuff and things you'd expose. Like one of the things that I did that I'm very thankful that I did is when we were developing, specific ones, we said, let's take things you don't always see and let's put them as the character types for the iconics. So case in point, our Ranger was based off a Zulu warrior. Because, my concept is, it's like, I get what people think Ranger, they think, Lord of the Rings. But I'm like, that's the dumbest thing in the world. You're going to be in the woods. You're not going to have all that stuff on you. You're not going to be like, you'll be all hot. So I said, let's put to a different climate. Let's pick Africa as a climate. How would it be different? How would they have a different look and feel? So out of that, we made our iconic. Also, we did that kind of with our iconic for a paladin. We said, what's really a cool idea for a paladin look-wise that you don't really see that people would find interesting? And there was a story of the black samurai that came to Japan, I believe in the 15th or 16th century. There's a whole big thing. It's a whole historic story. It's pretty interesting. The first and probably, I think, the only black samurai ever. And there's some historical context. And I was like, that's crazy. After telling the story, I was like, I can't think of his name right now, which is really weird. So I got like, oh my God, we gotta do one. So we basically made our paladin with a very, very, very samurai flair. The weird part is, and I know a lot of people will be laughing when you hear this, I made mine a black female. And I didn't even make the connection to Walking Dead with Michonne. I didn't make that connection for some weird reason. It just escaped my mind. So when people kept saying, oh, you're making Michonne, I'm like, am I? And then I realized, oh my God, I did. So looking back, I should have flipped the the iconic ranger being female for the iconic paladin female. So it's one of those weird moments. But like I said, it came and happened. We also did for our summoner. Basically, I wanted to include Igu from the Herculoids. Everybody knows I'm a big fan of Herculoids, so I was like, oh, I got a way to do it. I found a way. And the kid is definitely, I'd say, Southeast Asian influenced. The person who drew him is from Southeast Asia. Yeah, I think Santi did that one. Yeah, so that kind of flavor, that kind of look, pretty cool. So, which I thought was very inclusive. And I even, now this is going to come out bad, but I'm not trying to make it sound bad, but you'll understand. There's a character we created, our alchemist. And I wanted to put, I said, there are some people who do not qualify as who are not binary. They pick something else. Look, I don't know enough about it to talk about it with any kind of confidence and any kind of strength. But I was like, you know what? Let's make a character, have a name that could be male or female. The character would have, I could say neutral look. You don't know if he's female, you don't know if she's male. It's, it's for, I don't know, but I think that there's some people who feel that way. This could be a character for them. And I set up this character for them. Just that, because I think representation is important. That's why I have black people in my games. That's why I have Asian people in my games. That's why I try to put different cultures in my games, things you always see. So, not a big deal. So, we put up the Kickstarter, and we've used like 4 specific characters for our iconics when we did our Kickstarter with. We did the original Chronicles. We did Orsa. Orsa, who's our swashbuckler. Rogue, but definitely swashbuckler. But he looks like a swashbuckler. Our Patan rogue, swashbuckler. Who else? Swashbuckler. So I keep saying Tane. I'm like, no, Tane is not in the original group. Sorry. 12th Blade, our android Magus, and our Inquisitor. Now, 12th Blade is one of my favorite characters. It's one of the favorite things we've done. I'm a huge fan of him. One of my favorite characters. But he's definitely a white guy with red hair. If you look at him, you're like, oh, he must be a white guy. And Orsa is definitely white. And the Inquisitor is also very, very white. And our Patan Rogue is, dark. Thundercats influence, cat girl look. So I'm like, okay, not a big deal. We've used these characters, we got 28, but these ones I like, they fit, they have a good look, they look kind of different. You don't see those kind of characters all the time, so that's why I used them. So yesterday we put up a post up, like, hey, thank everybody for checking out, da-da-da. One guy wrote back saying, I'm like, hey, wrote back and said, hey, I know you only have these characters up there, but will you be able to have other characters to play in the, in the setting? And I'm like, yeah, dude. We've got like 28 different characters and all kinds of stuff and all kinds of different looks and appeals, for everybody. So he commented back with a thumbs up. So I'm like, okay, cool, no big deal. This other person, Kate, I'm not even sure what Kate's last name is anymore. I can find the post and maybe I'll put a link up with this so you all can see. But so this girl, Kate, and what made it interesting, Kate had a big, and for her picture icon was Black Lives Matter. I'm like, okay, I'm black. I understand Black Lives Matter. Okay. So she came in and she basically ripped me a new one saying that I was not diverse enough. I didn't add enough diversity. And it goes, and just because I use, and this was, I'm definitely not quoting, I'm paraphrasing. She was like, having 2 characters of African descent and one that's possibly Asian was not enough. And I'm just thinking to myself, and I'm just like, what the, I'm trying not to swear because, people watch this and I don't want people to get, stuff. But I'm just like, are you kidding me? I mean, she was legitimately upset, thinking that I would be against diversity. And, and this is the problem. And this has happened to some other people I know who, just like me, you maybe don't, me you see a lot, but you don't know their background, stuff like that. People assume because of a couple of things, oh, they're against, social justice. They're against equality. And you're like, no, I'm against BS. Because for me, that was the weirdest, dumbest thing I've ever seen. I mean, she's attacking me on saying that I don't like diversity. Are you kidding me? I'm one of like three African Americans that I know publishing games. One of them just won an award this weekend. Lloyd just won an award, and I think Mike Pondsmith. The other one is Mike Pondsmith and me. There's not a lot of people of color doing stuff in this. So to have someone even come up to me and even talk to me that way is kind of crazy. I just looked. See, I'm glad I had at least a day to think about it and calm down. Because I really just, when I first read it, I was like, are you bleeping kidding me? And to me, this is the problem. And I'm going to say this, and I don't care how you take this, just, this is how it's going to be. This is the problem with people who are on the extreme of the left. Your mindset is that you want all these things to change immediately, da-da-da-da. And usually, this happens with white females and white males who want to be helpful to the cause, which I get. You want to be helpful to the cause. Black lives do matter. Yes, I get that. I totally understand that. Thank you so much. I do appreciate that. But the second you think that you want to grab the megaphone from the people who are actually being this stuff's happening to, because you've got something to say and you think you know it better, please don't be that helpful. That's not what we're asking for. As a black male, I'm not asking for people who are non-white to take the megaphone and tell the story that I have. They have their own megaphone. Tell your story. I'm going to tell my story. And indeed, you want to help? That's great. That's also good. But helping means actual helping. I've gotten into a lot of arguments with people who are very much on the YouTuber that got hit at Gen Con. Now, I said it real simple. If that dude actually rushed up on that guy and sucker punched him, well, he should go to jail. Point blank. You don't sucker punch somebody and then say, hey, that's a great thing. And I've heard a lot of people say, hey, that's great. You should always punch Nazis. Yes, you should always punch Nazis. But let me give you some stuff that you need to put in context, because a lot of you don't think about this part. And I guess this is going to sound horrible, but it's true. It's because a lot of you are white. As a black man, I know if I assault anyone in public, and it doesn't matter if I swing first or second, when the cops come, there's going to be that initial moment where I'm going to spend some time in cuffs. Now, you're saying, well, you're the victim. Yeah. That sounds great, but I live in the real world. And anybody I know who's ever been in a fight in a situation, when people were two people of color, one black, one white, usually, not all the time, but enough times to see the black person in handcuffs when he's the victim. And then later on oh, sorry, we were just making sure. Now, I don't know about you, but I don't put my hands on anybody. I'm real simple. I don't put my hands on anybody. I'm not going to start a fight. That's not what I'm about. Even with Nazis, I'm not going to start a fight. Nope, not going to start a fight with them, because if I do, I'm going to look stupid. I'm going to go to jail. I'm not risking my life and my liberty over some idiot who doesn't like me. That's not how I do it. Now, as I've said before, if you lay hands on me, it's on. Keep your hands to yourself. We'll be all good. The second you touch me, it's over. I'm going to assume you're trying to kill me and you don't want me to get home to Lucas, so I got to do everything I can to stop you. And into that concept, that's okay. But if a guy comes up, sucker punches somebody, runs away, and people are like rallying like, yeah, he punched a Nazi. No. See, that's a straight out coward's move. If I got a problem with somebody, I got no problem going up there telling them face to face. Look, I don't like you for this reason, that reason, that reason. And if you got a problem, it's like anybody else says, hey, we can go behind the alley, we can handle it quick. No need for me to sucker punch you. Let's take it out. Boom, we'll handle it and I'll be gone. But that isn't what happens a lot. What happens is that this whole sucker punch mentality, and I'm talking about the most vile racist you could imagine, doing the most vile things. Hey, I don't like those guys, but I'm definitely going to put my hands on them. You know, and it's like people have this test of how, you know, you must be this level of diversity. If you don't reach this level of diversity, you're not diverse. I'm like, no, that's not how it works. This isn't a contest on diversity. You know, I'm black in America. I filled all the quotas to be diverse. You know, I shouldn't have to act like I need to make you feel better and more comfortable by reaching a certain diversity. That isn't how I feel. Sorry. If that upsets you and that makes you want to not provide my product, then don't. I've always been very upfront about what I like and what I don't like. I like people who are friendly to each other. I like people who are nice. If you're an idiot, go sit in the corner. I don't need to talk to you. I don't need to get involved with you. But do I think you need to get punched in the face? Of course. Because I think you're an idiot. Would I punch you in the face? Of course not. That's how it works. I can dislike you and keep my hands to myself. So that was part of it. And that kind of like boiled up in me. And this woman who I don't know, who I'm assuming was white when she said this, because she only has one picture. There's only one picture of one woman that could possibly be her. The rest is pictures of friends and stuff like that. So I don't know. She could be African American. I would find it hard pressed that if she was African American, she would handle it that way. And I don't mean that because it's a black thing. I mean it more in the sense of a common sense thing. You know, and this is the problem. And this is the real problem. And this is why the left is going to have a long-term problem. This whole attitude of, if you don't agree with what I agree with, then you're evil and you must be destroyed, is not how it should be. There are some people who are not going to agree with me. They're not. Nazis and I will not agree. Do I want them destroyed? Well, of course I do, but I don't, but I do. Or at least I want their mind changed. I think that would be a better attitude. And some people have changed. Some Nazis have become non-Nazis. But to get this attitude of, they're a Nazi, punch them in the face, what are you really doing? What are you really doing? You're feeding your own ego. I'm mad, and I want to force my will on somebody else. Congratulations, you become a Nazi. I mean, that's the definition of what they do. So, it just, like I said, it just blew my mind. And, you know, this girl said this about me. You know, and I just thought it was crazy. You know, nearly 20 years in doing gaming, I've never ever had someone come to me and say, hey dude, you're not down with diversity. And I'm just like, have you read my Setting New Exodus? There are 5 major kingdoms. 4 of them are run by women, 1 of them is run by a black guy. I mean, I don't know how you get more diversity. You've got an African-American male doing projects on fantasy, not really well known for African-American men doing stuff in fantasy. Let's just call it like it is. And I get someone giving me an issue that I'm not being diverse enough. Right, okay. So I'm apparently a racist now, and I hate everyone? I mean, is this what we're doing? So, yeah, man, that really kind of, it really kind of like burned me up. This is the kind of thing, and I think this is what happens a lot, that the extreme left doesn't get. Pushing guys like me over to the Republicans is not a good long-term plan. You know, it's not a good long-term plan. Yeah, Jason, yeah, that's what actually happened, yeah. So, I can't imagine that people would actually feel this way. But this isn't the first time I've said it. And I've heard this from, you know, other people who I don't like on the right, who are total garbage people. You know? They're setting up, you know, Democrats like suckers, and they're playing in their hand. So, you know, it's like, hey man, if you don't think I'm diverse enough, then please tell me what is the definition of diverse, especially in the gaming space. Because I'm pretty damn sure I said I couldn't count, let's be blunt about it. I don't think I can count 10 African-American designers in the industry at this time. And I'll be nice. I wouldn't even say African-American men. I'll say African-American. And I'll even include like Caribbean. I don't think there's 10 that I know of. They're just not. The numbers are not there. You know, every time I look at, major video game companies, I'm always looking for black people. I'm black. I'm looking for black people. How many black people are there? Any picture I see, 99% white. They don't have a problem with diversity. Apparently, diversity means something else to them. Because I thought diversity meant people who didn't look like each other. If I go into the room and I'm the only guy who looks like me, that's not the definition of diverse. Oh yeah, Jay. I mean, let's be honest. The number is not that high. Would you like me to name white designers? Oh, I could be here all day. So it's like, the numbers are small. And to have somebody basically attack me for it. And of course, I responded back to her. I called her out. I'm going to put the link at the bottom when I get home. When I get back, put the link in so you guys can read it. And you can see what I'm saying. So you're not thinking, she really meant this. And said, no. I want you to read what she said and read my response. Because I don't want to seem like, I was there valiantly fighting this SJW who attacked me. Nah, dude. Some stupid person made a dumbass comment and I called her on it. Just like, wow. But, I got to talk about it. I got to talk about it. It's important. People are going to see this and people know me be like, damn. And you know what? This is the first time something this level of silly has happened. I've had people who don't like me for all kinds of reasons. I'm okay with that. But to say I'm not diverse, you really have just, and I'll say it in another way. Someone else said that to me too. At first I was like, no, I'm not going to say who it is. But no, I'm actually going to say, Jessica Bryce, when she was working at Paizo, had some comments about me and diversity. And I didn't know this person at all. I was like, who is this person? Talked to some people I knew there. They told me about the person. Hey, I don't know about her personally. I just know my interaction with her was the equivalent of me interacting with
I understand.
Probably some neo-Nazis. Because I've never seen somebody so hostile to me that doesn't know me, doesn't know anything about me, never spoke one time to me, have so many opinions about me. And I'll tell you, that whole thing that went down with her and that stuff, hey, I've been on the receiving end of that. So I know. Did it probably happen the way it happened? Yeah. Did she deserve to get fired? I don't know. But that's what her boss thought. So they took care of that. I can agree, disagree, whatever. But like I said, I've been on the other side of someone doing that exact same thing to me, same person. How do you drive people like me out? That's how you do it. I mean, think about it. If I can't be your ally, who can? So, like I said, I was more than just upset about it, just straight out pissed off. And like I said, initially I was like, don't respond. I'm like, no, gonna respond. Yeah, because there's too much of that going around. People say whatever they want, and they think, I can say it, and if you don't agree, no. People are allowed to disagree with you. Not everyone's gonna like you. Not everyone. And if everyone did like you, I'd be worried. So that's how that whole thing went down. And this is just, another piece of that. So for all you who claim that you're SJWs and you're down for the cause, you might want to rethink your long-term look at your cause. Because alienating people like me, who is like the definition of what you'd call an ally, is not a good long-term plan. I mean, let's just be honest about it. How are you going to scream Black Lives Matter, then alienate black people from it? I mean, come on, people. What are you talking about? And this happens in this industry a lot. There's a lot of people in this industry, very, very, very far left-leaning, to the point where I'm like, you're like actually crazy now. You're like, you've twisted so far, you've come back on yourself. You're that level of crazy. So that's how I feel about that. I just want everybody to know that. Like I said, I'm going to put this post up on the YouTube page and let people make their choices themselves. And right, wrong, or otherwise, I just think long term, you might want to try something different. I could be wrong, but hey, I'm just giving you my little opinion. Maybe I'm wrong. You know, I hope that I am, because if I'm right, you're going to have a problem. All right. I'll talk to you all tomorrow. Oh, sorry. Friday, because I'm still going to be doing some stuff tomorrow. So Friday, as usual, maybe we'll talk about some fun stuff like the Kickstarter and our digital release party and what's going on there. Talk to you all later.